The Gu family, an 8-generation lineage of only sons and the wealthiest family in the country, released a job posting, seeking a daughter-in-law, $30 million bonus for a son, $20 million for a daughter. Just focus on giving birth, the Gu family can afford it. I thought to myself, this is my chance to get rich. My first pregnancy resulted in triplets, all boys. Mrs. Gu threw a citywide banquet, beaming with joy. My second pregnancy yielded quadruplets, 2 boys and 2 girls. Mrs. Gu wore a small smile, full of care and concern. My third pregnancy brought another set of triplets, all boys. Mrs. Gu's smile vanished. From then on, she told everyone, "Why haven't I died yet? My family has a history of easy conception." My grandmother had 8 sons and 2 daughters. Back then, she single-handedly turned a landlord into a poor peasant. My mother had twins, a boy and a girl. She wanted more, but circumstances didn't allow it, and she stopped after just 1 pregnancy, filled with regret. After summarizing the experiences of 2 generations, my mother repeatedly warned me, when looking for a partner, make sure he's handsome and wealthy. After all, our constitution is hard to control. Twins are a fluke. Triplets are standard. Occasionally, quadruplets or quintuplets might happen, but that's nothing out of the ordinary. Find someone good-looking, so the children will be beautiful, and you'll enjoy raising them. Find someone wealthy to provide for the children. After all, we learned from my grandmother's experience, don't accidentally turn someone into a welfare recipient. I kept her words in mind. That's why I've been single all this time. Until a few days ago, the Gu family posted a job posting, seeking a daughter-in-law, $30 million bonus for a son, $20 million for a daughter. Just focus on giving birth, the Gu family can afford it. Suddenly, applications poured in. On a whim, I signed up too. I passed round after round, making it to the finals and winning! When I received the contract, I excitedly called my mother. "Mom, we might be getting rich." After hearing the whole story, my mother gasped. "Honey, take it easy, don't bankrupt them." On my first day, Mrs. Gu coldly lectured me. Our Gu family has been 8 generations of only sons. It's been difficult to have descendants. So don't blame me for being a little biased towards boys. You'll get married immediately after the first birth, and the bonus will be transferred instantly. If you can't give birth, you'll get a small allowance and be sent back where you came from. I patted my chest and declared, "Don't worry, client, I guarantee I'll complete the mission." Mrs. Gu was very satisfied. She waved her hand and brought out the future father of my children, Sean Gu. Sharp eyebrows, delicate face, long legs, and the glimpse of 8-pack abs. Honestly, in another setting, he would be the hottest guy in the room. Unfortunately, the handsome guy looked a bit disheveled. He was tied up with a red ribbon and carried into the venue by 8 bodyguards. He was still struggling, protesting loudly, "Let me go. Are you trying to use me as a breeding pig? Get lost. I don't touch women. Put me down. Marriage is freedom, and love is freedom." He shouted desperately, his voice a little hoarse. But I understood a little. Why Mrs. Gu was offering such a high price to hire a daughter-in-law. Turns out her 8-generation only son was gay. Oh, this is heartbreaking. Mrs. Gu looked sad. "Sean, I understand your pursuits, and I'm not that rigid. As long as you give me 1 grandchild, you can go wherever you want and be with whoever you like, men or whatever, Mom will let you do it." Hearing this, Sean struggled even more violently. "Mom, don't misunderstand. Who the hell said I like men?" Mrs. Gu was even more saddened. "Oh, I understand, you like whatever. Your taste is quite unique, but whatever can't have children. Mom only has this one wish, just grant it to me." Sean screamed, "I told you, don't misunderstand." Mrs. Gu wiped her eyes, no longer in the mood to argue with him. She pointed at me and said, "This is the mother of your children that I worked so hard to find, your future wife. I know your tastes are special, but she's a good girl. If you can't give her a normal married life, you can't mistreat her in any other way." Sean sneered. "It's useless, Mom. No matter who it is, it's not who I want. Even if you bind my body, my soul will fight for its chastity. Mrs. Gu ignored him and pulled me over. Meet my rebellious son, Sean Gu. Tonight, if we tie him up, can you make it happen? I scanned him up and down. The handsome guy's clothes were disheveled, with a hint of forbidden allure. The red ribbon was tied securely, but it didn't hinder the important parts. I raised my head and assured her, no problem, client. No matter how difficult, the contractor will go all out. Mrs. Gu was very satisfied and lectured Sean. Look at her, and then look at you. For some reason, Sean, who had been struggling, suddenly calmed down. Occasionally, when our eyes met, his ears turned red. At night, just in case, Sean was tied to the bed. The more fiercely he struggled during the day, the quieter he was at night. I thought he had accepted reality. I rubbed my hands excitedly. Imagine, a 6-foot-tall, abstinent, handsome guy, tied to the bed, at my mercy. And I get paid for it. Just thinking about it made me a little excited. I don't have much experience. If I hurt you, remember to tell me. I quickly took off my clothes. Sean's face was flushed, and he looked around, trying to find a topic. Susan Meon. Yes, I'm here. Do you have someone you like? I paused, remembering the principles of a working woman. Any request from the client must be answered seriously. After carefully thinking it over, I shook my head decisively. I don't. Sean sighed. I do. Huh? This. I was down to my underwear, but I was a little hesitant to continue. He has someone he likes. Would this be okay? Sean glanced at me, his face red. Why aren't you continuing? I climbed on top of him, feeling conflicted. I didn't know you had someone. If you don't want to, maybe we should forget it. It's just a multi-million-dollar deal, sob sob sob. But I still have to have a conscience. Sean's face was burning. He coughed. It's okay, you can continue. I ripped open his shirt, still trying to be polite. Huh? Doesn't they mind? If it's you, it's all right. Wow, his significant other is really understanding. I took off his pants. We were both being honest with each other, but I was twisting and turning, unable to figure out what to do. Sean panted. Honey, untie me, and I'll do it. That won't work. According to my worst-case scenario, it's at least twins, which is a guaranteed $40 million. If I untie him, what if that $40 million grows legs and runs away? I struggled for a while, found the right spot, and pushed, and the pain made me want to scream. Sean gasped. Honey, untie me. You'll hurt yourself. I did as he said. Because it was just too damn uncomfortable. Earning money is hard. A $40 million salary isn't easy to get. As soon as I untied him, Sean flipped over and pinned me down. The lights went out, and my first day on the job officially began. In the last moments of consciousness, I was left with one thought. Sean Gu is definitely a top. His stamina is too good. I knew it. Only weak men dominate women. A real man dominates a man. The next day, the bed was empty. I had a new friend on my cell phone, who sent me a message. Sean, something urgent came up at the company, call me if there's a problem. I sighed. In this day and age, there aren't many clients as thoughtful as him. Before I could reply, my BFF called. As soon as I answered, she roared. Susan, where the hell have you been? Did you know we have a meeting with Han Hai today? If we miss the meeting, I'll have your head. I rubbed my ears and looked at the time. It was already 10 in the morning. I instantly jumped out of bed. Damn, working 2 jobs is exhausting. I forgot my main job. After graduation, my BFF and I started an advertising company. The deal with Han Hai was our biggest one, worth $5 million. My BFF told me repeatedly, Susan, once we finish this deal, we can go to another country and enjoy life. The Han Hai deal was my BFF's life. I rushed to the company, but I was still 3 minutes late. The receptionist ruthlessly stopped me. I'm sorry, the appointment time has passed. Please reschedule. My BFF gritted her teeth. You better give me an explanation. What were you doing yesterday? I stammered. I took on a side job. My BFF sneered. What side job is more important than a $5 million deal? It's not very important, just a guaranteed $40 million. The elevator opened, and a group of people filed out. The handsome guy in the lead had a cold, stern face, exuding an aura of controlling the entire scene. My BFF was sharp-eyed. She pulled me aside, put on a smile, and rushed over. Mr. Gu, I'm Selena Song from Starlight Advertising. Could you take a look at our proposal? Sean didn't stop, not even a glance. His assistant stopped her. I'm sorry, please reschedule. Mr. Gu has something to take care of. My cell phone vibrated. Sean, be home in 20 minutes. What do you want to eat? I looked at my BFF, who was trying her best, and Sean, who was walking away quickly. I timidly raised my hand. As soon as the words left my mouth, Sean stopped and looked up. His eyes were deep, and his Adam's apple bobbed. His face flushed, and a wave of jealousy surged in my heart. Damn that, whatever, they're eating so well. He reached out his hand. Give it to me. Selena quickly handed over the proposal. Mr. Gu, this is the first draft. If you have any dissatisfaction, we'll revise it at any time. Sean didn't take it. The contract. I quickly took out the contract. Sean didn't even look at it. He flipped to the last page, signed his name, and stuffed it back to me. Waiting for you at home. He didn't lower his voice when he said that. Instantly, all the employees on the first floor of Han Hai stared at me. Their eyes were full of shock, gossip, and, how was I so lucky? I suddenly felt uneasy. Only my silly BFF was still immersed in the joy of signing the contract. I knew it, as long as you're shameless enough, there's no deal you can't close. I'm treating tonight, I'll call your David, and we'll have a celebration party. Instantly, the stares intensified. They were thinking, wow, awesome, the boss is being cheated on. Sean turned around and pinned me with his gaze. The corners of his mouth curled into a smile, his eyes flashing green like a wolf. I love celebration parties the most. Can I join? My BFF was overjoyed. Yes, yes, yes. I tugged at her. Woman, you're playing with fire. My BFF shook me off. For the client, I'm willing to go through fire and water. All right, all right. When it comes to the contractor's awareness, I'm not as good as her. That night, a hot pot stand on the side of the road. 4 people barely fit at a table. The stool was too low, and Sean's legs were too long. He stretched them out next to me, rubbing against me every now and then. You're Susan's friend from college? Thank you for taking care of her all these years. Sean smiled insincerely, put his arm around me, and pulled me into his arms. David's face turned cold, and he pried off Sean's arm and kicked his leg away. You're welcome, I'm willing to take care of Susan. As for you, don't be touching her in public. As far as I know, Susan doesn't have a boyfriend. Sean put his arm around me again, raised his eyebrows, and challenged. Get him. My Susan is easily shy. There's no need to tell outsiders about having a boyfriend, right? David sneered. I'm not an outsider. I was her closest, male, friend for 4 years in college. Sean, it's male friend, say it straight. David clenched his fist. It's none of your business. Their eyes collided in the air, sparks flying. And my BFF, Selena Song, was eating popcorn on the sidelines. Fight, fight. I grabbed her. Don't make trouble. Weren't we supposed to be celebrating? Since when do you celebrate with hot pot? Selena spread her hands. It wasn't my choice, it was Mr. Gu's. Are you kidding me? With Sean's family background, he probably has never eaten this stuff. Selena swore. I'm telling the truth. If the client hadn't said it, how could I invite him to eat this? As she said that, she put some tempura in my bowl, her face full of gossip. Tell me everything. How did you get hooked up with Mr. Gu? Ah, this is a long story. But before I could speak, the tempura in my bowl was taken away by Sean. He looked down and smiled gently at me. You're trying to get pregnant. You shouldn't eat this. One sentence killed the mood. The table instantly fell silent. Selena was the first to recover. What the heck? You two are married? I shook my head and explained softly, not married, but slept together. Selena, what? When? Yesterday's side job. Selena's voice instantly rose. What? You became a model? Me? Can this woman let me finish talking? The celebration party ended on a sour note. Sean pulled me towards the car, his head held high, not saying a word. I thought he might be angry. Which is normal. He just hired a mother for his child, and now a little love interest shows up. Anyone would be unhappy. I quietly assured him, Mr. Gu, don't worry, I have professional ethics. Since I accepted Mrs. Gu's contract, I will never mess around. Sean suddenly stopped walking, turned around, and said angrily, am I just a client in your eyes? Is there only a contractual relationship between us? Huh? What else? We've only slept together once, are we supposed to develop feelings? That's kind of scary. Susan Mion, you have no heart. Sean turned and walked away. I jogged to catch up. Mr. Gu, are you saying you want to develop additional, emotional services? That's fine, but that's a different price. After all, sincerity is an ethereal thing that hurts people. Sean refused coldly. No need, I haven't fallen so low that I need to use a contract to bind a heart. When he got to the car, he opened the door for me and helped me into the car. Then he closed the door and left. I called him, Sean Gu, where are you going? He raised his head and said, I don't want to be in the same car as you. You drive back, I'll walk. But I can't drive. Sean paused. He turned around, cursing, and picked me up and put me in the passenger seat. Learn to drive when you have time, he said fiercely. So you don't get lost outside and just cry. Back home, he was still angry and went straight to the bedroom. That's why people are clients, they can show their anger openly. But I can't, I still have to do my job. I quickly washed myself and climbed into Sean's bed. Boss, please have mercy. Sean's cheeks were slightly red, but he was still angry. He simply grabbed the blanket and rolled me into a burrito. Susan Mion, you listen to me, even if I die without descendants, I won't force someone who still has someone else in their heart. I squirmed. Boss, you're misunderstanding. I'm just a classmate with David. The Gu family's bloodline will never be mixed. Sean laughed angrily and pinched my face into a pout. It has nothing to do with that, David. I mumbled, then why? Sean stared at me. Because of you, I want you to have me in your heart. I was stunned for a long time and suddenly got angry. What's going on? Can I even do this job properly? Having a child is one thing, that's my advantage. Now you want to develop feelings with me? Even if we develop feelings, you like whatevers. Am I supposed to change my gender? Is there a woman to man, whatever? I said coldly, Sean Gu, do you want to sleep or not? No. Fine. You just wait. I broke free from the blanket and went out the door. Mrs. Gu heard the noise downstairs. What's wrong? I spread my hands. Mrs. Gu, Sean isn't cooperating. When the client's contact person is being difficult, the most direct way is to report it to their boss. Someone will take care of it. 5 minutes later, 8 bodyguards entered the room. Holding red ribbons, they skillfully and quickly tied Sean to the bed. Sean was furious. Susan Mion, you're good. I smiled coldly. Never underestimate a contractor's determination to make money. Tonight, even if you scream your head off, I won't let you go. After a night of hard work, I completely conquered the client with my excellent skills. Maybe I was too tired, I slept very soundly that night. When I woke up, the red ribbon was gone, and I was in his arms, my head on his shoulder. Sean was looking down at me, so close that I could see the peach fuzz on his face. Awake? His voice was cold. I quickly got up. I'm sorry, I was too tired and slept soundly. I didn't hurt you, did I? Sean seemed to think of something, and his face instantly turned red. He turned his head. Humph. He stretched his arms, got up, dressed, washed, and left without saying a word. And then I didn't see him for 10 days. Not only didn't he come home, he didn't send any messages. Mrs. Gu was worried. Let's go. Let's go to the company and tie him up. I gasped and quickly stopped her. Tying him up twice was already too much. Going to the company to tie him up would really turn Sean into a breeding pig. I'll go. Don't get excited. I repeatedly stopped her. At the company, the receptionist stopped me. I'm sorry, Mr. Gu has a special guest right now, it's not convenient to see you. I don't know if it was my imagination, but I felt that the receptionist's eyes were full of sympathy. Some passing employees whispered, "Did you see, that's the girl? Only 10 days, and she's already been dumped by the boss. TSK, rich people have no heart." What? Someone is trying to steal my job? I can't stand this. Let me in. The receptionist stopped me again. Please don't make things difficult for me. It's really not convenient for Mr. Gu right now. I didn't say anything, I just called Mrs. Gu and put it on speaker. Mrs. Gu, get out of the way. The receptionist obediently stepped aside and took out her cell phone and frantically typed. I glanced at it. She was sending a message to the gossip group, "Go to the president's office to watch. The old flame and the new love are going to fight." I came to the president's office without any obstacles. I opened the door and, unsurprisingly, saw a curvy woman with long, wavy hair. Stunning! So beautiful that I was ashamed of myself. I forgot all the lines I had prepared, and I only dared to say to the beautiful woman, "Hello." The woman with long wavy hair smiled back, captivatingly. I caught my breath, and my heart sank. I'm done for, I'm going to lose. I'm sure to lose compared to her. The beautiful woman held out her hand, but she spoke with a coarse voice like gravel. "Hello, I'm Tiffany Wong." Me? What the heck? Not a sister, a brother. The rumor that Sean Gu likes, whatever's is true. Such a beautiful brother. If I were a man, I'd be, too. Sean Gu is too inconsiderate. He wanted me to have him in my heart, but he doesn't have me in his heart. How unfair. How inhumane. He just wants me to be unemployed. Phooey! Shameless capitalist. Tiffany politely asked me, "Are you looking for Sean?" Instantly, the shame of being the other woman washed over me. I'm looking for Sean, to go home. Oh my God, stealing a man in front of his significant other, I've lost all my good deeds in this life. Tiffany smiled generously. Oh, you wait a moment, Sean will be here in a bit. I was restless, I was on pins and needles. I cursed myself in my heart. But I was also very curious. Tiffany, how did you and Mr. Gu meet? Tiffany smiled. You can still call me sister, I like hearing it. I followed her lead. Hello, sister. Tiffany was satisfied. We met when we were studying abroad. He's my schoolmate, and we've known each other for 5 years. Wow, 5 years! Then their relationship must be very stable. No wonder Sean resisted so fiercely when he was tied up for the first time. Their relationship is rock solid. Tiffany smiled and showed her charm. It's okay, Sean said, I'm his only one. Sob, 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 I'm so evil, it's terrible that this is happening to them. Sister, you wait a little longer, the meeting over there is a little long, it'll take a little more time. My heart was struggling fiercely. I tentatively asked, Tiffany, if you found out that Mr. Gu was seeing someone behind your back, would you be sad? Tiffany was stunned. No one has ever asked me this question before. My heart ached. What a pure sibling. Tiffany thought carefully and replied seriously, I should take the initiative to leave. I don't want to make things ugly in the end after knowing Sean for so many years. Sob, 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 sob. I cried so loudly, I am not a human. I stood up suddenly and bowed deeply to Tiffany. I am so sorry. Tiffany? We know each other, then you tell me you are sorry? I have already made a decision in my heart. This work cannot continue. Sean is trying to break free from the family arrangement. Tiffany has traveled thousands of miles to pursue true love. I cannot be a murderer who tears lovers apart. Once things are revealed, who wouldn't mind their lover's betrayal? Moan. Why is good, but it cannot be a condition to sacrifice the happiness of others. Sister, don't worry. I solemnly promise Tiffany, I won't let that situation happen. You two have to be well. I rushed out of the door. Behind me, Sean rushed into the office, looking around but not seeing the person he wanted to see. Where's Susan? Wasn't she here to find me? Tiffany shrugged. She just left, and said some strange things. By the way, Sean, my flight is tomorrow morning. The business in Thailand has to be settled today. Sean paused. I'll take care of it now. Tiffany lifted her long hair and asked again, Sean, am I the only agent in your Southeast Asia region? Look into my eyes and answer me. Sean frowned. That's ridiculous. We signed a contract. If I dare to open another agency, the compensation is enough for you to spend 10 lifetimes. Tiffany was confused. Then just now. What? Never mind, you work first. Leaving Han Hai, I went straight to Starlight Advertising. Selena was startled by my tearful appearance. Susan, did someone bully you? Why are you crying like this? Who made you cry? I hugged Selena and sobbed. Selena, I am not a human. I know, you are an animal. I paused, and then cried even louder. What happened? I sobbed and told her about Sean's true love. Selena was silent for a moment. Then she said, Susan, tell me now, are you crying for the $40 million, or for Sean? I was stunned, and my heart was in a mess. I even forgot to cry. Selena sighed deeply. Susan, you are trapped. I had a shock. I lost money and my heart. What a big loss. We must be wary of high-paying traps. Selena patted me. What are you going to do? Are you going to fight for him, or quit early? I lowered my head. Quit, after all, they are the real deal. Selena hugged me. Don't be afraid, Susan, you will never be alone no matter what you decide. That night, I returned the contract to Mrs. Gu. Thank you for your trust in me, but I cannot fulfill this job. I am very sorry. Mrs. Gu was very reluctant. How come? I have interviewed so many girls, only you can control Sean. Don't go, I'll give you a raise. I refused her kindness. This has nothing to do with money. Sean has someone else in his heart. Forcing him will only backfire. Could it be that my Gu family is truly going to end with that rebellious son? Mrs. Gu sighed heavily. This was a family matter, and I didn't want to interfere. I returned the contract and stood up to leave. Mrs. Gu followed me, pressing a card into my hand. We agreed that even if it didn't work out, you would still get an allowance. You deserve this. I accepted the card, thanked her, and officially moved out of the Gu residence. When I got back to my small apartment, Selena Song and David Ching were already there, busying themselves in the kitchen. Today is Susan's day of freedom. We have to celebrate. Selena held a plate up to my face. Look, I made your favorite tomato beef brisket. Eat up. A scent wafted into my nose, and my stomach churned. I rushed to the bathroom and started dry heaving. Selena followed, stunned. Susan, could it be? I did the math. Maybe, perhaps, possibly, it really was. Selena exclaimed, wow, it's only been a few days. You're so fertile. Should we tell Sean Gu? No, I said, struggling to lift my head. I already promised Tiffany that I wouldn't break the agreement. If they found out, there would definitely be complications between them. Selena relented. Okay, it's better to cut ties completely. What are you going to do? I touched my belly, feeling a sense of wonder. These were my children, 2, 3, maybe even 4 or 5 little lives. It was amazing. I think I want to have them. Selena cupped my face in her hands. Good. Even without the Gu family, we still have Starlight. We'll work hard enough to raise them. David poked H's head in from the back. Perhaps the children need a father? I gave an awkward smile. No need, David. That's too much. David shook his head regretfully. Selena lowered her voice and teased me. Really not considering it? David is such a good guy, and he's still in love with you. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I'd known David for 5 or 6 years, since freshman year. If there were any sparks, we would have been together already. I just didn't feel it, and there was no need to take advantage of his feelings and let him become a father. It wasn't fair. In the early hours of the morning, my cell phone kept buzzing with messages from Sean Gu. Sean, Susan, where are you? Sean, I won't be stubborn anymore. Please don't terminate the contract, okay? Sean, give me your location, I'll come pick you up. Selena patted me. Don't look at your phone, it'll make you carsick. Look over there, a shooting star. I turned off my cell phone and looked up at the sky. In the vast starry sky, shooting stars streaked across, leaving trails before disappearing. I wished Sean Gu everything he wanted in his own world. The next time I saw Sean Gu was a month later. He drove an off-road vehicle covered in dirt and stopped in front of me in the desert. He got out of the car, his beard unkempt, his hair messy and falling in his eyes. He hadn't changed his clothes in days, and he smelled a little. The smell made me feel nauseous again. Susan Mion, you're really good at hiding, Sean Gu said, his eyes red, staring at me intently, as if afraid I would disappear again in the blink of an eye. But I swear, I really wasn't hiding. After confirming my pregnancy, Selena suggested that we take a trip while the pregnancy was still early to avoid not having time after the baby was born. Because we were afraid the bumpy journey would harm the baby, we drove the whole way. We drove for 3 hours a day and stopped wherever we felt like it. Sometimes we stayed overnight in hotels, sometimes we slept in highway service areas. I'm not bragging, but our movements this month were almost like fugitives. Sean Gu said, "Come back with me." I took a step back. I'm not going back. Sean, there's no end to suffering. Turn back. You told me to have you in my heart, but you can't have an entire neighborhood in your heart. Sean Gu looked puzzled. What neighborhood? You're the only one in my heart. My heart skipped a beat, and I quickly shook my head to clear my thoughts. Nonsense, your Tiffany is so devoted. Do you think I'm blind? Having her isn't enough. You need a woman like me? Are you planning to find a guy too, one of each gender? Sean Gu explained, she's not my girlfriend. She's the company's sole agent in Southeast Asia. Oh, I was stunned. So that's the sole one? Did I misunderstand? Selena gave me a blank look. You're really something, sis. Go get your brain checked. We can afford it. I couldn't believe it. He wasn't interested in such a handsome guy? Sean Gu softened his tone, moved closer to me, and sounded a little aggrieved. Susan, that day I stayed at the company until 2 a.m. When I got home, Mom said you quit. I looked everywhere I could think of, but I couldn't find you. I won't force you to have me in your heart anymore. I'll accept the contract relationship. Can you please let me be your only contract relationship? Susan, just being able to see you every day is enough. Sean Gu's eyes were filling with tears, and he looked pitiful. He saw that I didn't say anything and carefully hugged me. Susan, you're my only. As soon as he said that, I couldn't hold back the churning in my stomach any longer, and I yacked. Sean Gu looked at his empty arms and me, 3 meters away, and was stunned. Was that so disgusting? I won't say that again. Selena rolled her eyes. 2 idiots. It wasn't until noon that Sean Gu realized what was going on. He became very careful, placing his hand on my stomach. Susan, is there a baby in here? I shook my head. That's my stomach, thank you. Sean Gu stroked it enthusiastically, trying to find the baby's location. David snorted from the side. The baby's father isn't very smart. Should we get a new one? Sean Gu paused, rolled up his sleeves, and started wrestling with David. You old dog, always thinking about stealing my girl. Get out! You're useless yourself, so you blame others for stealing? I'm going to steal her. I'm going to steal her. Selena pursed her lips. Should we go first? These two together don't even add up to 10 years old. I agreed wholeheartedly. The return journey was still slow and took half a month to get back to Rivertown. Sean Gu took me straight back to the Gu residence, but we couldn't go inside. Because there was a man waiting at the door of the Gu residence. Susan, get out of the car. I looked up and shuddered. I quickly got out of the car and stood straight. Sean Gu was furious. Bodyguards, drag this man away. He's had enough of yelling at my wife. I grabbed him tightly. This is my brother. Susan's brother. Sean Gu immediately shut up and stood properly. I trotted over to Susan's brother's side, trying to please him. Brother, why did you come back? Susan's brother snorted. If I hadn't come back, I wouldn't know what you've been up to. Selling yourself for so little money, you're really something. I shrunk into a quail. I couldn't help it, even though we were twins, I was afraid of him since I was a child. My dad died early, and Susan's brother was naturally mature, taking on the responsibility of the family head since adulthood. He scolded me like a grandson. Sean Gu felt sorry for me. Brother, scold me, Susan's pregnant and can't take it. Susan's brother was cold. Don't be so quick to get close, it's not certain you'll be able to marry her. Even if Susan never gets married, my Sioux family can afford to raise her. Don't think you can control my sister just because you contributed a few cells. Come home with me. I was taken away by Susan's brother. This departure lasted for half a year. Although I still lived in Rivertown, it felt like we were separated by thousands of mountains and rivers. Sean Gu could visit, open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. During that time, Susan's brother kept a close eye on us. Mrs. Gu immediately arranged the engagement, and after 3 months of nagging, Susan's brother agreed to talk. After another 3 months of nagging, he finally allowed them to bring gifts to the door. I was stunned and secretly asked Susan's brother, "Brother, isn't this a bit too much?" Susan's brother glared at me. "What do you know? Your brain is smaller than a walnut. Marriage is a lifetime thing, they're only working hard for a few days. If you think it's too much trouble, don't get married. The child can take the Sioux surname, and I'll allow you to date that Gu guy for the rest of your life." I shut up. The wedding date was finally set for the spring of the following year, which was exactly 100 days after the children were born. The doctor checked and said it was triplets. Mrs. Gu happily spun around and, after finalizing the wedding details, busied herself with booking the children's 1-month celebration. On the first day of winter, the children were born, 3 boys. As soon as I left the delivery room, I received a notification that money had been deposited into my account. $90 million in total, which made me want to jump out of bed right then and there. Susan's brother scolded me again. "You're so ambitious, do you need money?" I said proudly, "You don't understand, this is what I earned myself." The day before the wedding, Sean Gu and I went to the Civil Affairs Bureau to register. The moment the seal was stamped, he took my hand and placed it on his lips. "It's so good, after waiting for so many years, I finally got it." I was confused. "What many years? Are you waiting for the wrong person?" Sean Gu shook his head. "How could that be? He wasn't a pervert. It was just that the day she reappeared, he was stunned. This girl, everything about her was just the way he liked it. It was no wonder he had booked her since he was a child." Bonus chapter: 5 years after the marriage, I gave birth to 2 sets of children. One set was the triplets I had before the wedding. Sean Gu said that 3 children were enough, and there was no need to have any more. Carelessly, I got pregnant again. This time it was quadruplets, 2 boys and 2 girls, nicknamed Oliver, Owen, Jane, and Judy. My mother-in-law waved her hand and said that the previous conditions still applied, and 100 million was deposited into my account. Sean Gu repeatedly told me that 7 children were enough. But one day, while soaking in a hot spring, I couldn't help myself and got pregnant again. Sean Gu stared at my stomach, completely puzzled. Are you a rabbit spirit reincarnated? How do you get pregnant every time I touch you? My mother-in-law also stared at my stomach, her eyebrows furrowed tightly. After a moment, she called her father-in-law overseas. Vacation? What vacation? I've given all my cash flow to my daughter-in-law. Hurry up and make money, she's pregnant with 3 more. If there's no money to give when they're born, I'll use your antiques as payment. Just during that phone call, the 5-year-old Donnie, and Kenny ran to the second floor. Danny went into the study and pulled out the files, scattering them like a fairy scattering flowers. Donnie leaned on the stair railing and slid down from the second floor. Kenny climbed along the pillar, almost reaching the top. My mother-in-law was so anxious that she kept slapping her thighs, directing 8 bodyguards to CA. TCH the children. In the blink of an eye, the 3-year-old Oliver and Owen tore the scattered documents to shreds, laughing. My mother-in-law sighed, holding her back. Alas, granddaughters are still the best. Huh? Where are Jane and Judy? They were in the garage. Each with a stack of stickers, they decorated each car in the garage with flowers. My mother-in-law was silent for a long time, then came to Sean Goo's side, gritting her teeth. Go to the hospital and get a vasectomy. I don't need you anymore. That afternoon, the housekeeper came in a hurry. Mrs. Goo, there's a woman outside, saying she's Sean's mistress and she's pregnant and wants to force you to give up your position. Sean Goo swore to the heavens. It's not me. My mother-in-law sneered. Let her get lost. The only thing I need right now is grandchildren. If she has the ability, Sean can go with her. Sean Goo exclaimed, Mom, I'm your only son. My mother-in-law didn't change her expression. You were the only one when there were 8 generations of only sons. What are you now with 10 grandsons? Get lost.